to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the August 25th meeting of the Board of County Commissioners. My name is Shelley Bueller, and I serve as chair of the commission alongside my colleagues, Commissioner Kevin Cook and Commissioner Bob Archer. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Madam Clerk, the first item, please.
First item is item 3, consent agenda.
Any questions on the consent agenda?
I would move for approval of the consent agenda as presented.
Thank you. There's a motion by Commissioner Cook.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0.
Item 4, new business. A, County Clerk, number 1, consider all voucher payments.
Madam Chair, this morning we have one voucher report dated August 24th, 2016. Total amount of vouchers, $723,563.70. Significant items are postage, $120,000, holding accounts, $112,000, and solid waste expense of $208,000. I've reviewed the vouchers, have no additional questions, and I'll make a motion to approve as presented.
Thank you.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Archer, second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0.
Item A2, consider correction orders.
Move approval.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0.
Item B, Sheriff's Office, number 1, acknowledge receipt of correspondence from Sheriff Jones that they will be retiring Diablo, an 8-year-old law enforcement canine, and consider approval to transfer ownership to his handler, Deputy Matt Bowling, who will assume full responsibility, and intent to purchase a dual-purpose law enforcement canine as a sole source purchase from Hill Country Dog Center in Pipe Creek, Texas, in an amount of $9,500 to replace the retired canine.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tom Brown, Shawnee County Sheriff's Office. As you know from the memo, we are retiring one of our dual-purpose law enforcement canines by the name of Diablo. He has faithfully served the community for the last 6 years, and I guess what, that makes it 42 dog years. And over the course of the last few months, he's let us know that he's ready to retire. We've seen a steep decline in his performance, and attempts to retrain and motivate him just haven't worked, so it's time. So, in retirement, we need to find him a home, and we're asking the commission to transfer ownership to his current handler and partner, Deputy Matt Bowling, who's back in the and since we have the vacancy, we need to end up purchasing a new dog who are currently under review for the last 10 years. So I'd be happy to answer any questions. If I can't, I've got Sergeant Brad Metz, who in the back of the room, who is one of our canines. There is he's in our agency.
Okay.
I'm happy to answer questions.
Great. Thank you, Tom. Other questions?
Madam Chair, I'd move
Yes.
to approve the request, or I guess acknowledge the receipt, but also to thank Deputy Bowling for his commitment and dedication. I mean, this is a big undertaking when you take an assignment of a K-9, because you never know when you're going to be called up, and plus you have the day-to-day care, so thank you, Deputy, for everything you've done.
I agree. Thank you. There's a motion by Commissioner Cook.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0. Thank you,
Thank you,
Tom.
Commissioners.
Item C, Parks and Recreation, number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C-249-2016 with the Kansas Department of Wildlife and Parks and Tourism for grant funding in an amount of $288,833, with funds in an amount of $57,766 from Parks and Recreation Building Maintenance Fund for construction of a Gage Park Fitness Trail.
Good morning, Commissioners. John Knight, Parks and Recreation. This item's been before the Commissioners before the actual projects have been before the Commissioners before, but one of the pieces we need to get into place before we start this project would be this local project agreement with the Kansas Department of Wildlife and Parks. That's what's in front of you this morning. Be happy to answer any other questions you may have.
Thanks, John. Are there questions?
Move to approve the contract.
Motion by Commissioner Archer, second by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0.
Item C2, consider authorization and execution of contract C-250-2016 with the India Association of Topeka for operation of the India Fest Engage Park to be held on September 24th, 2016, with expenses of $1,894 to the county and reimbursement of no less than $2,010.
Commissioners, this is a special use contract that we require for all of our major special events that are held within our parks. Josh Sturm, our new special events and amenities supervisor, and Sean Osborne have worked close with this group to pull this agreement together. Be happy to answer any other questions you may have.
Thanks, John. Questions?
I would move for
Comments?
approval of the contract.
It's a motion by Commissioner Cook,
Second.
second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor, say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0.
Item C3, consider approval of request to solicit bids for park maintenance services, sports turf maintenance, and grounds maintenance for many of the parks, sports field parcels, and the Kansas Expo Center.
Commissioners, over a year ago, almost 2 years ago, we ran a pilot program in which we began contracting out a lot of our maintenance functions for some of our parks around the community. That has gone extremely well. We would like to go out for bid for another sizable chunk of our park parcels, but also a separate bid for the Expo Center grounds maintenance, and also a separate bid for our sports fields maintenance. And the reason the sports field maintenance ones would be different is because they have different specifications for those. For instance, when we may mow once a week in the spring on the sports fields, we are mowing 2 and 3 times a week, depending on the rain and the weather and those type of things. So that being, I did visit with the Teamsters, and they had no issue with me putting this on, and be happy to answer any other questions you may have. I do know John Boyd, Sean Osborne, and Darren Tolan are all here if you have any specific questions about any of these contracts that we're going out for bid on.
This is just a request to solicit bids.
To solicit bids,
To
yes.
solicit bids.
Move to approve.
It's a motion by Commissioner Archer,
All second, also noting that John has made 3 items without mentioning the words master plan today. Might be a
First.
record.
Maybe I need to find out about this retraining and motivation that they tried on Diablo. Better to retrain. And Mr. Cole just said that, or they're going to put me down.
Okay, all those in favor say, I think Commissioner Archer made the motion, Commissioner Cook second. All in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thanks, John.
Item D, Commission, number 1, consider approval of resolution number 2016-57, adopting recommended pay scales for department heads.
Commissioners, you have the attached memo. This county has made a commitment with the CBIZ study to review all positions, and this is another result of that. This would just be those increases for 2016, effective July 1 of 2016. This county and this commission has made a commitment also of increased evaluation of department directors, and so we've tried to get more consistent with that. At our department head meeting following our commission meeting, we're going to have some discussion about a draft department head compensation policy, some factors in that, because we want to get some feedback from the department heads on what that may look like. Since we have started the evaluation process, we did it for the 2nd year. So I don't know if there are questions. These department heads, these individuals, are those we have direct management and oversight over these department directors. So any questions from the commission? Commissioner Cook?
Madam Chair, I just might note that over the course of the last year, we have met in executive session to discuss non-elected department heads, where we conducted the evaluations as you indicated, having turned those back into the county HR director, also met with the HR director about salaries in the CBIZ study, and this resolution has kind of come out of those. And so when we talk about I know the newspaper is always diligent to report about the number of executive sessions, and oftentimes people will wonder what's going on. but this is one of the things that we've been, and this is an item that could be discussed in an executive session. And I don't know if the HR director has any additional input, but this resolution does come out of those meetings with the commissioners.
Okay. Did you have anything to add? Jim?
Good morning, Commissioners. Jim Crowley, Human Resources Director. Yes, in both of these items, this item and the next one, people who've been here for a while will know used to be on one single resolution, and that's something that has come out of reevaluating our processes. Typically, when we go into executive session to talk about non-elected personnel, Mr. Eckert has to give us the admonition that you can't talk about elected officials, and we have to remind ourselves of that. We've separated those officials now so that we have a resolution with salaries that can be discussed in executive session, and then the one that will follow is one that cannot be discussed. You've asked me to give a recommendation for you in this meeting about that one. So that's the difference in process that people will see from prior years.
Thank you. Anything else?
No.
Commissioner Archer, do you have anything?
Just that we have an excellent senior leadership team. I spent years with the Baldrige program and had the opportunity to observe leadership teams in some of the best organizations in the country, and I can say that our team is comparable to the best of the best, and we're fortunate to have the leadership that we do in Shawnee County. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Definitely. Is there anyone in the audience wanting to speak on this item? Okay. What's the pleasure of the commission?
I'll move to adopt the resolution.
It's a motion by Commissioner Archer,
Second.
second by Commissioner Cook. Again, this is just for 2016. All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0.
Item E, Human Resources, number 1, consider approval of Resolution 2016-58, adopting recommendation for pay scales for elected and appointed officials.
Good morning, Commissioners. Again, Jim Crowley, Human Resources Director. To follow up on what I just said, part of the process that we discussed for 2016, and this resolution just deals with 2016 like the prior resolution, you asked me to provide a recommendation for elected official salaries. That recommendation is contained in that resolution. As the chair indicated moments ago, these resolutions represent the final step for 2016 for implementing the CBIZ compensation study for all employees, department heads, elected officials in the county. My recommendations are based upon the CBIZ results. I also wanted to take a look at the KAC salary study. One reason for that is the CBIZ study involves elected officials from both Missouri and Iowa, and those aren't necessarily good comparables for what we have in Kansas, so I wanted to take a broader look at that. I also, what we found when we looked at elected official salaries, for lack of a better word, it seems to be related to the unique culture of each county. You see great variety in the functions of elected officials. To be the same elected official in two different counties that do two different functions, and you also see great variance in the salaries for the same positions. So I wanted to take a look at, well, where have we been as a county, our culture for the last 20 years, and compare that to the CPI. I took a look at that for the elected officials, and that was part of my recommendation too. What you have before you are the recommendations that I have for 2016 based upon that. And I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have about that.
Thank you, Jim. Other questions from the commission? No? Anyone wanting to speak on this item?
I'll move to adopt the resolution.
So motion by Commissioner Archer to adopt the resolution,
Second.
second by Commissioner Cook. All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries 3-0. Again, that's for 2016.
Item 5, administrative communications.
Good morning, Commissioners. Brian Cole, Shawnee County Department of Corrections. I safely say that it's good to be home. I spent the last 3 days in Las Cruces, New Mexico, regarding an extensive review of their facility and mental health program. Their mental health program was second to none. It was very good. But it's always good to see what others have, and I'm very thankful for what we have. And I'll leave that at that. I will provide you a full in-depth report regarding our findings and our review and potential recommendations on where, what steps would be good for our agency as well. But again, I'm very thankful for what we have here. The last thing I want to say is I come before you with a heavy heart. Friday was not the typical day to start for me as the director for the Shawnee County Department of Corrections. About 8:30 at my office, I was informed that a very good friend of mine had passed away in my hometown. That left, it was very upsetting. And, so as you go, it wasn't the best way to start the day. And then as I'm preparing for the end of the day and have to be in Kansas City on Friday at 6:30, as I'm preparing and I'm leaving, I get a call from one of our deputy directors that says, Brian, I have some bad news. And I said, it better not be anything to do with an inmate walking away from the annex. And he says, no. And one of our officers passed away, Stacy Pledger. She was found unconscious and unresponsive in her home that morning by one of her daughters. Stacy had been with us for 11 years. And even though it wasn't in the commission of their duty, it hurts the same for our agency, and the agency is very upset. Stacy has been had a very big smile on her face. We often joked around. She wanted to have her hairdo like mine, and I wanted to have my hairdo like hers, and we kidded often. But she did things right, and I want to thank the media because we got an outpouring from media because she was the one who provided information to the media and very prompt and sent their deep condolences. This is tough for the agency. You get a lot of training in law enforcement or corrections, and there's not a section on how do you prepare for this. Stacy's funeral is tomorrow, and we will be on lockdown tomorrow. But this is just a sad day. I ask that you keep everybody in her prayers. Stacy leaves behind her 3 young kids. And she had a very, very bright future with us. And as the director, my heart goes out to her and her family. So thank you.
Brian, please extend our sympathies to her family.
Thank you.
Jeff Shabon, Kansas Expo Center. Brian, I'm very sorry about your loss. It's hard to follow up with something like this, but on a positive note, yesterday we raised, or the horse folks raised, $3,400 for Rhonda Beecher, who was hurt very bad in an accident, not at our place, but it was really good to see that we had a great turnout, a lot of support for it, so it worked out real well. The Capital City Circuit Dog Show is continuing. It's pretty phenomenal down there. Going to get Expo in it next year, figure out what we can do. Then also this weekend, we have the Kansas, or the dressage, I believe it's pronounced, horse show, which I'm really excited to see. It's supposed to be something very, very special, and it is open to the public, so if you have time, come on down. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Morning, Commissioners. Becky Neosi, Register of Deeds. I just wanted to share that now in the Register of Deeds office, we will be accepting credit cards and debit cards. So it's been a long time coming, but we are doing it. We've decided this would be a good time to do that. We're using Can Pay Counter, which is a charge to the customers, but it's pretty minimal. Like on a $15 deed, it would be 38 cents. So just real excited, and if you have any questions, give us a call.
Good, thank you.
Yeah.
Morning, Commissioners. John Knight, Parks and Recreation. Last night I was attended the Women of Influence meeting that they held down at the Capitol Plaza Hotel. I just wanted to bring to the county commissioners' attention that Shawnee County was represented very well there. Rich Eckert sat right behind me. No, I'm just kidding. Of the categories they gave away, and I had these ladies come down here this morning to be here too, so you could recognize those.
Have them come
But
up.
yeah, come on up, ladies. We're late. From the Parks and Recreation Department, in the category of community service, Olivia Mayer, who's our volunteer coordinator, was nominated. In the category of mentorship, Susan Fowler Hensler, our recreation superintendent, was nominated. And in Rising Star, Rachel Meyer, our partnerships person, was nominated. So Shawnee County was well represented there yesterday.
Well, and John, thank you for nominating them.
Yes.
I really appreciate that. I do. I was wondering why you were there, and then there was tons of women, right?
That's why you thought I was there, right?
It's going to be together, but thank you for doing that, and I'm sure you all appreciate
These
that
women
as
do a
well.
great job in implementing our master plan, taking Parks and
They have.
Recreation, the new department to new heights, and they deserve some recognition. So I'm glad we brought them down here this morning, and they were able to get some of that recognition.
Very good. Good. Very nice. Thanks, ladies. And also want to mention that Christy Amplehands actually won the Rising Star Award, and she is the better half of Rich Eckert. So, yes,
Much
we do.
better half.
Yeah. Her speech was great. So, congratulations to her. And to all of those who won: Carol Bradbury, Pam McComas, is that McComas? Angel Zimmerman, and then Barbara Ebert and Joan Wagman. So it was a great event. There were probably 300 people there.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a big event. So anyway, congratulations to all those who won. Anyone else for administrative communications? No? Commissioner Cook?
Nothing more today.
No? Commissioner Archer?
I did want to share a voicemail I got from Mary Jane Cook, and she called and said she had just gotten back from Gage Park, and it really looked so good. She was very concerned after the consolidation of Parks and Recreation, but she wanted us to know great job on Gage Park. Thank you, Madam Chair.
It's nice to know. I did have the opportunity on Tuesday to attend the charrette for the Oregon Trail Park. The National Park Service is here this week, and they're continuing work on their conceptual plan. And Rachel, I know you've been involved in this a lot. Today, they're going to, at noon, I'm not going to be singing Happy Birthday, but the students from Quincy Elementary are going to be leading us in Happy Birthday for the 100th birthday of the National Park Service. But it was a long day on Tuesday, but there were almost 100 people there.
Wow.
And it was a great day to just be focusing on our community. But I will tell you, the presentation from the kids at Quincy Elementary, oh, it was amazing, wasn't it, Rachel? I hope somebody got it on video, because the kids did a really great job on telling us what their ideas were. So it was great. So more to come on that, because I think tomorrow morning then they're unveiling their plan, or the plan that the National Park Service is going to present then to the community. So, all right. Anything else? Next item, please.
Item 6, executive session.
I do not believe there is a need. So at this time, we are adjourned, and we have the department head meeting scheduled at 10 o'clock, but if everyone gets here, we'll start. I think we can start that early if everyone's here. So we'll adjourn for a while, and then we'll just go around and see if everybody's here, and then we can start early, so we don't hold you all up. Thank you.
Good idea.